So what I wanted to look at today is I saw this video. This is from Piers Morgan. It's an interview with him and some black guy. And the black guy seems to think that Piers Morgan is a racist because he's made fun of Megan Markle in the past, okay? If that's the case, then the whole world is racist. If that's the case, then I'm the most prolific racist since George Rockwell. Is George Rockwell his name? I know it's Rockwell, but I'm unsure. I'm not quite confident about the last name. Anyway, this is funny. It's provides some good content, and we'll see if we can get some good commentary throughout. So let's just check out this video, which, by the way, well, I'll get into that in a minute.
I'm sorry, Ernest Owens. I do beg your pardon. Ernest Owens, thank you very much indeed for joining me. And now...
Wow. Hitting hard right out of the gate. Let's take a look at this. I'm telling you, it's true. I've said this before, and I will say this again. Black gays are gayer than white gays. When blacks go gay, they go, like, nitro gay, okay? It's nuclear gay when blacks go gay. By the way, don't they have, like, more of a propensity? I feel like more black guys are, like, closeted gays. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, this is who's calling Piers Morgan a racist, which I don't even know why he bothers even having him on his show. Like, what a joke.
I don't know much about you, other than you wrote a piece last week for Rolling Stone magazine saying cancel culture is good for democracy. So I'm going to come to that ludicrous premise in a minute. But I also remember you tweeting when I left Good Morning Britain, a series of tweets.
You could see on his little face how proud he was of himself. He's like grinning. He's like, man, this is just what I want. Attention. Attention.
Calling me a racist, including enjoying how folks keep getting Piers Morgan together for his racist tirades against Meghan Markle on Good Morning Britain. I was just curious, could you remember a single racist thing that I said about her?
Okay. Piers, obviously I'm on your team for this one. All right? Obviously, de facto, I'm on your team. But can we stop doing this, white people? Can we stop doing this freaking out when people call us racist? Who gives a fuck? If somebody calls me racist, I'm like, thanks for noticing. Really? Are you retarded? You're just now figuring that out? And even if you're not racist, who cares if somebody calls you racist? The fact that he literally has this guy on his show for the sole purpose of exonerating himself from the horrible label of racist, you know? Like, seriously, you care that much? Who cares? No one cares if some fat black calls you racist. No one cares, okay? And we have to move on. This guy has power over Piers Morgan. I've never heard of this. What's his name? I don't know who this guy is. Some irrelevant. But the fact that nobody knows who this guy is just goes to show how irrelevant it is. Piers Morgan arguably has one of the bigger platforms out there. People know who Piers Morgan is, okay? And the fact that this black has the power to have Piers Morgan ask him on his show purely for the reason of explaining to everyone that he's wrong and he's not actually racist. How cucked are we as white people?
Hi, this is Anthony Cumia.
And hello, I am Gavin McInnes.
Together, we're Compound Censored.
And we'd like you to subscribe to our network that has more fantastic content you could shake a stick at. Use this promo code for a one-time super offer.
Do it. It's uncensored and oh so entertaining.
That we give that much of a fuck. Like, look at the power this loser, this irrelevant fuck, has over Piers Morgan because he called him racist. Tell me exactly what I said was racist. I mean, I guess fair if you're going to bring him on to prove that you're not racist. That's a good place to start. But, like, can we stop doing that? It's so stupid and weak and cucky.
Or have ever said about her?
Well, thank you for having me on, Piers. I was surprised when I found out I would be on your show.
We're an uncensored show, Ernest. We take all types on here.
Well, all types. Well, there you go. But I think really a lot of it just seemed to be biased. I think that you was really just harsh on...
He's writing for Rolling Stone and he said we was. I think you was biased. I think you was biased, Piers. I don't even know how to do a black gay accent. That's a tough one. That's got to be up there with faking a northern accent, okay? Faking like a Michigan accent is next to impossible. Second to that is faking a black gay accent. That's tough.
You know, the Duchess of Sussex, and I think there was a little bit of bias in
The Duchess of Sussex. Oh, he's a proper isn't he? Oh, he's so proper. He's talking about the Duchess of Sussex. Sussex. Yeah, that's what you got on your mind, asshole. The Duchess of Sussex. Shut the fuck up. God, these people.
the way that you had really gone after her.
Yeah, but Ernest, to be clear,
you know, it was
I
noteworthy.
didn't ask you about that. I just said, what were the racist tirades? What racist thing have I ever said about Meghan Markle? I'm curious. You tweeted quite a...
Damn, are you guys noticing how he's like breathing really heavy? Do you think it's because he's nervous, the black guy? Or do you think it's because he's just a fat faggot pig?
few times that I was a racist. I'm just curious, what was the racism?
I said your remarks. I said your remarks was racist. I didn't say verbatim.
What were the remarks that
you
were
were
racist?
I think that it's
Your remarks
biased. I
was
think that you
racist.
had a sense of bias of how you were speaking about her and how you was really being insensitive to her mental health and how you were denying a lot of her concerns.
Being biased or sceptical of some of her claims is not the same as being racist. What was the thing I said that was racist?
I never. Hold on. Do you want the person of color to speak, or do you want to just talk over me?
Nothing to do with the
Because I
skin
am the
colour,
person
Ernest.
who is-
Sorry.
Really, nigga? Do you want the person of color to speak? No, we actually don't. I want you behind bars somewhere because you'll probably commit a crime at some point, okay? That's where I want you. I definitely don't want you speaking, especially considering you can't go a sentence without saying was, which is not even a word.
Nothing to do with your skin colour. I don't care if you're black or white or anything else.
It's just
I just want you
that
to
you're not
try
letting
and
me
tell
talk
me,
about this.
given you tweeted to your many followers repeatedly.
Are you going to let me talk,
by
or
the
are you
way,
just going to keep over-talking me?
repeatedly, you did this repeatedly. You have called me a racist repeatedly for racist things I've said about Meghan Markle.
I said you made
I
racist
simply want
remarks.
you
I did not call you a
to
racist.
stand by what you tweeted. What was it I said about Meghan Markle?
I am. Would you let me talk?
Ever that's been racist?
Are you going to let me talk, or are you just going to overtalk me?
Just
'Cause
answer
I
the
think
question. Stop asking different questions.
That's microaggression. You're asking a black person to explain how what you did could be perceived as racist.
Wow, this guy's a piece of work. What do we have already? Already we have the terrible English grammar. And now we have microaggressions, and now we have the person of color remarks. This is playing every card in the book. He is playing them all, and it's such a joke.
And rather than let me finish talking, you're over talking me and being highly defensive.
Am I being racist
so I feel
again,
like a hit
Ernest?
dog is hollering right now.
Am I being racist again?
You're being dismissive. Can I actually talk? Or
Maybe
are you just
because you're not
over-talking?
answering the
'Cause
question,
What's the point of you on the
Ernest?
show? Okay, so can I answer the question?
Yes, you
Piers?
can. Please do.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So your targeting of Meghan Markle's mental health, gaslighting her specifically, calling to question the legitimacy.
Gaslighting again with these terms. He's sitting there. Piers Morgan has got a little fucking watch, chain watch, and he's like, Meghan Markle, you suck. You know she sucks. He sneaks into Meghan Markle's house when she's sleeping at night, and he hypnotizes her and gaslights her. That's what he's doing. He's gaslighting. What the fuck? That term, I don't even know if that's for real. I'm sure it is for real in certain instances, but it's like the Me Too movement. Since everybody was crying wolf, now literally no one believes anyone. Same with gaslighting. There's probably some people out there who were literally being gaslit by actual psychopaths, and now you have niggas like this throwing the word around, and no one, now it's just like, it's like meditation or yoga. It's just like something that's a joke, like crystals.
Have heard claims about the royal family being racist, you dismissing those claims, you consistently having a sense of badgering her and targeting her, it's felt like on my end that there...
Yeah, you know what? I think she'll survive, actually. I think she can survive a little bit of critics, considering she's a millionaire. I don't know how much they're worth. Worth a lot, though. She's got multiple homes. She has a closet full of designer clothes. She gets invited to celebrity parties. I think you know what? I think she might actually be able to handle it. I think she might actually be able to handle it. By the way, she's about as black as Kamala, which is barely black.
there was some racial bias there. Now, you may feel like it's not. Maybe it's sexism. Maybe it's misogynoir. Maybe it's a combination of both her gender and her race. But it was perceived by thousands of people. 57,000 people had called Good Morning Britain about some of your behavior.
No, you see, you've got to be very careful, Ernest.
Mischaracterizing the situation on Fox.
Ernest,
you act like it's just Meghan Markle, but it wasn't just Meghan Markle. It was other people who had concerns.
Ernest, you do have to be careful when you...
I gotta say, when British people do say certain things, it is funny. Ernest.
Spew more lies, unfortunately, because 57,000 people...
Weren't you not spewing lies?
I'm about to
Fox
explain
News?
what you just said was wrong, a lie. 57,000...
Or you're going to give your interpretation.
If you're going to let me answer the question, 57,000...
Go ahead, Piers.
Ernest, 57,000 people complained to Ofcom, the TV regulator, and guess what?
Correct.
5 months later, every one of the complaints was thrown out, and Ofcom found in my favour to have my right to free speech and freedom of expression. But I come back to my initial point about you. You repeatedly tweeted to many people that I'm a racist, and I'm simply asking you to name one single comment... Ernest, one single comment I've ever made...
between racist comments?
So, did I say a racist tirade? What was it?
This guy, dude, is insufferable. Did I make... Like, he raises his eyebrows? My God, this is one of the worst facts I've ever known.
I felt like your attacking of Meghan Markle was racially biased.
Oh, you felt like
and I believe
you felt like it was your feeling.
I felt that way.
It was your feeling that I'm a racist, was it?
I felt like what you did was racially insensitive. I never said verbatim on Twitter that you were a racist. I said you made racist
actually,
remarks.
you just said enjoying how folks keep getting Piers Morgan together for his racist tirades. We're actually looking at your tweet now, Ernest. And there were plenty more. In fact, while I'm talking to you, we'll dig the others out. Let's go and dig them out, folks. Here's my point, Ernest. The reason that people think that I may have had a racist connotation to my criticism of Meghan Markle is because people like you, high-profile black people in America, kept saying that without any evidence. And now I've got you on my show.
Piers, Piers, you are literally better than this, okay? The fact that Piers is sitting here almost wringing in his hands and, like, he has this guy on his show, he's terrified that people will think he's racist. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Get it together, bro. You're, like, quaking in your boots because some black called you a racist. If black aren't calling me a racist, then I've failed in life, okay? Come on.
Why did you tell lies about me?
You're blaming the black guy?
I'm not blaming the black guy. I'm blaming you as a high...
Wow. You're blaming the black guy? Like Piers just picked this random black guy. He's like, Piers is just driving down the street and it's like, there's a... Get him. Blaming that guy. That guy. What? Okay, first of all, you were asked on the show, okay? You could have declined, okay? So you're not a victim here. Piers didn't kidnap a black man off the street and was like, you suck. You're calling me names. And the black guy's like, I don't know what you're talking, man. I was just driving while black.
Profile black man for claiming wrongly and defensively that I was racist in my motivation towards my criticism of Meghan Markle.
Okay, high-profile black man, that's a bit of a stretch, all right? You know, some humility would be a good move right now. High-profile. You're blaming the high-profile black man. Yeah, because you tweeted it out now. Did Piers gaslight you into doing that too? Was Piers at your bedside? Like, you would like that. But was he there whispering in your ear, tweet out that Piers is a racist, and then Piers is gonna have you on the show, and then he's gonna attack you just because you're black. You tweeted it.
Which, to be clear, my criticism of her and Prince Harry is I think they both tell lies. They both recently said they didn't mean to call the royal family racist when we heard them say it with their own mouths on national television. So my point to you, Ernest, is you can say these things. You can say these things on Twitter, but when you're actually held to account for them,
about Meghan Markle,
you don't have any evidence to support what you're saying.
So I guess the lesson here, folks, is if you criticize any person because you don't like their behavior and they happen to be black, you're racist. Okay, well, first of all, she's a public figure, all right? So in that kind of position, you're opening yourself up to criticism, regardless of your color, okay? Every person in the public light is criticized, is made fun of, is had fair critiques, unfair critiques, lies, rumors pressed around, filtered around. Wow, now I can't talk. Literally, the retardation of this is... I was going to stop saying that. His retardation is rubbing off on me. But my point being, you're not exempt from criticism because you're a public figure. You're kind of welcoming it. That's part of the deal, okay? And at least, unlike the rest of us who get the criticism, she's rolling in the dough. She's living in nice-ass houses, living a life of luxury, but she's somehow this victim. So got it. Don't criticize anybody who has the slightest bit of melanin in them.
Platform than me, and you've attacked Megan Markle, and it's impacted her mental health. And I feel like someone like me, as a black person, defending her as an innocent black woman in that situation, I felt like
she's not gonna have you on her cooking show, okay? Black guy. If that's what you're hoping for, if this is what you're angling for, if you're black knighting for her, I think she doesn't really give a two shits about you, okay? She doesn't give a shit about you. She's not going to have you on the show, so you can kiss her ass all you want and deny reality that she is extremely annoying and a liar and a professional victim all you want, but she's never going to have you on your show. So if that's what you're going for, I would just put that out of your mind now.
I was standing up for her. You need to be accountable for your impact and your power.
Oh, I stand by everything I said.
You have a big influence, and you're trying to play a victim.
I stand by.
What you did
I'm
to
not
Megan
a victim.
Markle, and it was disrespectful.
No, Ernest, I'm not a victim, and I'm not a racist.
Are you a victim, Piers?
Ernest, I'm not a victim, and I'm not a racist. I'm somebody who listened to that.
I never called you racist. I said you made
listened to the
racist
Oprah Winfrey. Just let me finish speaking. I listened to the Oprah Winfrey show. I watched it, and I identified.
Why are we still doing this? Why are we still arguing with liberals? I'm over this. I don't argue with liberals. I don't really even argue with blacks in my comments. I'll occasionally send a gorilla gif back to reply with like a gif of a gorilla. That's about as much interaction as I have with the opposition, okay? I don't argue with them. I don't debate them. Why? Okay? Why would I do that? It's a waste of time. I don't like wasting my time. I like something that achieve something. And if we're not arguing, if we're not basically aligned and we can basically agree on things, but there's some things that we don't agree on, I just don't understand the point of even talking to these people, okay? It's acknowledging, when you talk to these people, like when Piers Morgan has this platform and he gives it to this fat, dumb, it just makes this guy think like he's a somebody. You're a nothing, dude, okay? Rolling Stone magazine is a joke, okay? It's not Rolling Stone from its heyday. Rolling Stone is a joke, okay? No one cares. Nobody takes that publication seriously. No one cares you wrote a piece in the Rolling Stone for that. And by the way, you only got to write that piece because you're a black and that looks good on them. So no one cares. So we have to stop. What we need to start doing is critiquing our own side and trying to make sure, because our side is the correct side. So we got to make sure we're working out the kinks within our own side. That's why I call out conservatives or fake conservatives who are LARPing and are not free speech and are not like legit, and they seem more like controlled op. That's more productive. Okay? That's like culling the tribe. That's like making sure your own team is in tip-top shape. You know? That's keeping it oiled up and making sure you don't have any, I don't know, it's like maintenance. That's maintenance on your own side to make sure it's in tip-top shape. These people, they're lost. These people are retards, okay? These people are gone. There's absolutely no point in even arguing with him. He's just trying to grift off your platform, and you look pathetic by having this guy on, wasting a whole segment to prove that you're not racist. No one cares if you're racist. Actually, I care if you're not racist.
Identified immediately a number of lies. And I said that on air the next morning. Other guests disagreed with me, and you were delighted about the way they came after me, and that's fine. But then you said I was racist repeatedly, that my criticism was racially motivated.
You're being intellectually dishonest. You did not just say she was a liar. You questioned other aspects of her mental health.
No, I said I didn't believe them.
Aspects of it as offensive. Repeat what you said.
I said I didn't.
Repeat what you said.
I said I didn't believe her.
Why?
Because there is no evidence to support the claims that she made. She said she went to a senior member.
So her expressing what happened to her, how she felt, was no evidence?
Ernest, I'm about to tell you what I said. She said she went to a senior member of Buckingham Palace staff and...
Isn't it crazy when they're all dressed up like this and when they are like and they got this whole gay thing going on? Isn't it wild how it distracts you from the fact that they're literally an ape? That's a joke. But you know what I mean? Like I was so distracted with the gay facade going on and the outfit that I almost forgot that he's just like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? It's honestly kind of a good front. It's a good facade.
Said she was feeling suicidal, and that member of staff said she couldn't get help. That story doesn't reappear in Harry's 415-page book and has never been substantiated by anybody else, nor has it been repeated by Meghan Markle.
You didn't know that when you said that,
I'm afraid...
but you did not know that when you said that.
Sorry, I didn't believe it. It didn't sound true. And by the way,
but why?
I'm allowed...
But why you didn't believe it?
Ernest,
Ernest, you're allowed to. So you're allowed to believe that she's lying, and I can believe that what you said was racially biased.
I'm allowed to disbelieve her.
And I'm allowed to believe that what you said
Prince
was racially
Harry,
biased.
and I'm also allowed to disbelieve you when you call me a racist, because it's wrong. And you shouldn't do it.
I said that you made racist remarks. I did not call you racist, Piers. You're trying to make yourself a martyr in a situation that you started. You didn't have to go disrespectful below the belt with Meghan. You chose to do that. And now you're mad because other people disagree with you.
For what I thought was a disgusting attack on the British royal family.
You made ad hominem attacks against her character. You assassinated her character before the British press, and you know how the tabloids have been towards her. You understood what you were doing.
I've been just as scathing, if not more so, against Prince Harry, who I actually think is more to blame.
Didn't you? Now, I want to know if this is true. Riddle me this. Wasn't there a point in time where at least you tried to pursue a relationship with her? You all had history before all of this happened?
No, absolute nonsense.
Okay, that was
another
nonsense.
lie. It's another lie. I met a...
Oh, here we go now. Yeah, everybody just wants to fuck black women. That's the problem. She's too sexy. That's her problem. She's just a victim of all these jilted men who didn't want her, who tried to get her and she didn't want. That's why she's so annoying. That's why she's a victim. Everybody wants her.
It's in my life.
Okay.
Okay, what do you mean, okay? We found more tweets while we were talking to you. You calling me a British media racist darling. What does that mean, Ernest? What does that mean?
It means that you have recently chosen, lately in your career, for whatever reason, you went the road of basically baiting into a lot of the biased coverage of Meghan Markle.
Absolutely.
And a lot of it has been
this is the
racist
problem,
attacks. A lot of it
Ernest.
has been targeted towards her in a biased way. And come on, can you admit that the coverage around Meghan Markle has been racially biased? Can you admit that?
Absolutely not.
Not talking about your work.
No, I think
but in general.
I think it's another load of absolute hogwash. Nonsense.
So you're dismissing the role of race in all of this. You don't think none of this has a role in any of the
British media. The British media has never been racist about Meghan Markle.
Okay, that's just a lie.
And
we're
not a lie.
We're going to agree to disagree.
It's not
we're
a lie.
Going to
it's
agree
a
to
fact.
disagree.
It's a fact.
No, it's not.
What is a lie?
No, it's not.
What is a lie, Ernest, is you telling people repeatedly, I'm a racist, and then you can't produce any evidence other than it's your feeling.
I said you made a racist tirade.
Yeah.
And you're offended, but here's the thing: you're blaming me for the criticism.
I'm not offended.
You said
Ernest.
you're blaming me as a high influential black person,
calling
a black
out your
American,
lies, and by the way, it has nothing again.
You're blaming me for your criticism.
It has nothing to do with your skin color, Ernest. I don't care.
But you literally
care
said
when
you said I was a black influential person. You named my race. You said you're a black influential person, and that's why people thought that way.
I think when
so why did you bring my race into it?
I think when high-profile black people like you go public on Twitter.
Okay, high-profile black people like me. Go ahead.
Go public on Twitter and call me a racist. People
you went public on Meghan Markle. Continue.
People believe it, and you know what? It's a.
And people believe what you said about Meghan Markle, or no?
I had to mute my mic so there wasn't an echo. Isn't that just a joke? Okay, and it's just like, why are we it's like the people who are still wearing masks today. It's the same vibe as people who are still trying to beat the racist allegations, you know? If they call you racist, nobody cares. This is literally 2025, okay? We are going back. We are going back to a better time where people were racist and there was nothing that you could do about it, you know? White man, we are back in charge, okay? It's time to get back in charge. It's time to lose the shame. It's time to stop arguing with these losers and just let them fade into oblivion. They only have power. That guy only has power because he bitches. And he only has power because anyone cares. If people didn't care about racist, that dude would have zero platform. He's only there. He was hired because the employers wanted to appear not racist. He was hired. He got the job with Rolling Stone, or wrote an article for Rolling Stone so that Rolling Stone could seem diverse and not racist. And Piers Morgan is having him on his show so he can defend himself and get rid of these allegations of being racist. So it's a whole currency there. Racism has been a currency. So we have to collapse that currency. And when we collapse that currency, all of this perceived power, which is all a farce, which is all a facade, they are still a minority after all. Okay? We still outnumber them. Like, what happened to strength in numbers? For now. So we got to collapse that. Okay? We got to kill that currency. We got a new currency coming in, and it's called white people. All right? And this is the currency that's actually backed by gold, because it's backed by the majority. Because as of yet, we're still hanging on to that majority status.
So if you enjoyed that clip,
then subscribe to Compound Censored using this promo code.